What is up, YouTube? MK40 here. YCS Irrelevant Oregon has completed, and we're going to do a nice little breakdown for this event. 10 promos weren't legal for this event, so I don't know how much we're actually going to be interested in general metagame shifts out of this. Dark Ruler no more. And, of course, the lovely Nibiru both go into effect next week. And I actually can't wait to personally see what that affects the metagame. But outside of that, this is the most generically broken, I guess, top 32 we've seen in this game's history for an event. But I'm curious to see what comes out of this. So let's dig on into this discussion, shall we? Top 32 at YCS Irrelevant Oregon. Coming out as the most represented deck for this event was actually Orcust. And this doesn't really surprise me that we've seen just Orcust's popularity continue to grow coming out of the UDS last weekend. We've seen that the deck's evolution, what was it? Double Phantom Knight Sword ending on the big negate board kind of came to an abrupt close. And the deck was quiet for about a month after the ban list, but everybody knew that somebody was coming up with something. So here we are, post-format. You had Goki Orcust last week that took the world by storm. This week we had 3 Danger Orcust, which is your standard variant. We had 2 of the Warrior Orcust. We had 1 Lunalite Orcust this week as well, which is basically just Azathoth Turbo with some potential OTK fodder built in. And we had 1 Ib Turbo. Now, for those of you that might live under a rock, Ib, the Justicar, the World Chalice, is one of the most broken cards in the current game. Seeing the fact that you can just turbo through your combo for Draco Net on a core normal summon and start this huge OTK board, or end on a potentially good Orcust board, it shouldn't shock the world that seeing these decks in such high represented numbers at this event, especially with all of the crazy variants that you get out of this. Literally, you have 4 different versions of the same engine being played in decks, in addition to just other little crazy things that you kind of see in these things. So, yeah, Orcust being the most represented deck in the top 32 for this event, which is actually pretty sweet. Outside of that, it's nice to see the Ib Turbos getting a little bit more love. The sooner we can get that card banned, the better, in my personal opinion. But, I don't know, it's just something about dang long cards that are pretty bad. Also, remember kids, it's been too dang long. So, don't forget to press Fs for your boy Danglong. Maybe someday dinosaurs will be tier 1 again. Now, abnormalities. We had 5 Salamangreat decks, but this was interesting because 2 of these were playing the Danger package. Now, at the beginning of Solid's life, we talked about playing Tsuchinoko and things in the deck just as a level 3 engine to kind of turbo out from more viability and things like that. And literally taking a page out of Danger Thunder's book, here we are yet again. The Danger engine splashes its way into more decks. You see more of this draw engine-esque effect, and considering the fact that Salamangreat has literally became, Mirage Stalio Turbo, it doesn't surprise me to see that the Danger engine being implemented in for other consistency reasons. So, yes, Danger Salamangreat bringing up the rear for what appears to be a relatively interesting event top. Now, of course, coming out of this event, we also had 5 Sky Striker. Unless you live in some bumblefuck nowhere, you shouldn't be surprised to see that Sky Striker's still alive with 1 Hornet Drones, 1 Kagari, 1 Hornet Drone. Absolutely, the deck is still functioning very nicely, actually. Who needs to worry about a ban list? So there's that. Other interesting things that came out of this event. Thunder Dragon continues on its little evolution. We have 3 variants of it. Considering out of the UDS last weekend, we had 1 Pure that literally took the top cut by storm. We come into this week, we see the same thing. Yet again, 1 Pure Thunder Dragon making it in a top cut. I know a lot of people, to those of you that knew about this, I'm happy for you. The people that figured out the Pure Thunder still got a chance to sit at the dinner table with the rest of the metagame decks. Pretty interesting, actually. I'm happy that you guys knew about this from the rest of the world, because this is some good knowledge. And then, of course, bringing up the rare for Thunder, you had 2 Danger and 2 Crusadia. We've had these 2 variants sticking around for almost the longest time at this point. Not much else to really say about Thunder. It's shocking considering that Pure Thunder won the UDS, and only one of these made top 32 at Irrelevant Oregon. So I don't know. Maybe that's interesting. Now, another big thing coming out of this event, we had 4 Endymion Pendulum, and for pretty much this block of the format, we tossed Pendulum underneath as like the 6th best deck of the format. Yes, the deck can consistently top regionals. Yes, the deck does a lot of things, but it takes a certain amount of players and just kind of a good day for Endymion to kind of sit up and do its thing. So I caught that as an interesting thing as well. I don't know, there's something about Pendulum in general right now. It's either the deck has a good day or it doesn't have a good day. But I guess that's just all combo decks, really in general. Then we had 2 Altergeist decks in Top Cut. DZ doing the world proud out here, actually showing that Altergeist still has a chance in the current metagame. Also, now the players are more geared towards being aware of what the deck can actually do at this point. Definitely, well, one, it still shows that one Geist is still a competitive, viable deck in the current metagame. So that's nice to see. But outside of that, it's good to see that more red reboots, more of the candy things that we all love in the format got the chance to show up and just kind of ruin players' days. We also had 1 True Draco in Top Cut. I don't know, this deck shows up and dies every other event, like between Extra Deck, Lesser Monarchs Erupt. There's just something about this deck that it's resilient. So it made Top Cut, at least it's doing better than Trickstars at this point. So I think that's interesting. Now, in the Dream category for this event, the people that liked to dream, we had 1 Necros player. And the amount of comments I read on social media while we were heading home from Bushiroad this weekend was actually spectacular. People love seeing decks like Necros and the Gran Maju player kind of hold their own and do things. There's something magical about seeing these rogue decks that are former fan favorites get the chance to do something. And then, but that's for Necros. And then we had Yashan McNabbie over here playing Golden Castle Gran Maju. Now, for those of you that also might live under a rock, it's my term for this video, we've seen Gran Maju do a lot of things in this format. Whether or not it's set pass, but we had, I think, 5 events come across where Gran Maju was relevant. One of them was a PPG. And a lot of people were just like, this might not do anything. But normal decks don't have an out to a normal summon. And watching that normal summon just train load in for 80 or 8,000, 10,000 over a monster is literally lethal. The only deck that has an incredibly easy matchup against it is Sky Striker, because you just go Whittle Anchor on the Gran Maju and they're like, uh-oh, what do I do? So, I mean, Sky Striker definitely having that good matchup and being one of the best decks in the format curves out, especially when we had the finals of this, but there's that. But yes, we had Golden Castle tripling in price out of this event, and once again, ladies and gentlemen, Gran Maju made it to 2nd place at a YCS. I think that's a spectacular feat, especially considering, just how this event went in general. Dark Ruler No More and Nibru, please be legal soon. But yeah, Golden Castle doing things. And then we had 1 Subterra player weasel his way into Top Cut. I guess if you got 1 True Draco player sitting at the table, you can have one Subterra player sitting there. Also no Trickstar. There was also an X3 Trickstar player that made it in, but that was interesting. Now heading into top 16, 4 Solids survived, 3 Orcust. Man, we lost 4 Orcust decks going into Top Cut. 3 Sky Striker, 2 Crusadia Thunder, and then we had 2 Endymion Pendulum, the 1 Necros, and the 1 Gran Maju. And then you slam into top 8, you get to the more interesting things, which literally was 3 Sky Striker, 2 Solid, which was 1 was the Danger variant. That Danger variant really held it home for this event. Like, that's really cool. And of course, 1 Pendulum and whatnot. Top 4 was the double Sky Striker, the 1 Danger Salaman Great, and the 1 Golden Castle Strongberg. There's something about the level of innovation in this event. Like, it's been a week, by the way, from the UDS to YCS Oregon here. And literally, you got Gran Maju coming out of left field. You got Salaman Great playing Danger cards now. And that's a big change in a week's time for a metagame. So, and unfortunately, Gran Maju lost in Top Cut. It would have been nice to see Gran Maju actually win the event, but the player base was excited to see this deck nonetheless. And you know, Mean Dreams are always a good thing nonetheless. So really, outside of that, I mean, Oregon made dreams come true this weekend. New innovations, new spins on things. We got to see Gran Maju actually do something in the year 2019, more outside of what it's already been doing. But I mean, outside of that, what do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and well, guys, I'm out. Peace.
The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a truffle shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out Vanquil40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.